Clips, clips.
Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. People say it, so it's true. And if they diss me, I'll fucking sue. Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. People say it, so it's true. And if they diss me, I'll fucking sue. Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do.
Clips, clips.
Alrighty, YouTube's another one of Kip's Clips, and welcome to the World InfoWar News at 1 Live. So today, Donald Trump really is Captain Planet. He's the peace president that we all thought he was, wasn't, could be, should be, who knows. But hey, he's Captain fucking Planet. He's saving us all. He's going to save you from Kim Jong-un and the kind of non-threat of North Korea. Being more objective about it, if you look what's happening on the Korea Peninsula, it's, some would argue, on a geopolitical scale, it's caught in between the tug of war between the US and China. If you remember what happened, there was talks of the talks, the meeting happening. Then Kim Jong-un went to China, then the meeting was off, and then it's back on again. So very similar to what's happening in the Philippines. With Duterte. If you don't know what's happening in the Philippines with Duterte, go and check it out. But it's very similar in the sense that there seems to be this independent entity, North Korea, Philippines, and there seems to be negotiations going on between the leaders of the Philippines, the Duterte and Kim Jong-un, with North Korea and America, stroke the Anglo-American alliance on one side, and China were on the other side. So it's part of the musical chairs, geopolitical hokey-cokey that's going on in that area of the world. So listen very closely to what's getting said and the 4-point plan and what is and isn't getting agreed on. And watch this space to see what happens with regards to China's retaliation to these round of talks. I think there will be some forks in the road, bumps in the road even. I think there will be a lot of bumps in the road with regards to the peace that everybody's now talking about. But peace is always a good thing, isn't it? Coming to some sort of a peace without actually a war. Nobody can argue with that. I think it's a fairer analysis, though, to say that the North Korea thing isn't about North Korea having nuclear weapons. Even a North Korea with nuclear weapons or limited nuclear weapons isn't a threat to the West as such. It just gives them more bargaining power. So again, I think a fair analysis is this is more about the geopolitical struggle in the South China Sea, which surrounds trade and the rise of China after the Opium Wars in the 19th century. And this is a continuation of the West's want to keep China in its box. It doesn't want the Red Dragon getting out and on the loose. Because given their numbers and the fact that they've got a communist-style system inside China, you would probably argue that they're more more stable. Their system's more stable, more strong a structure than the wobbling democracies of the West. And don't know, as a country, as a single unit, I would imagine, because I'm not inside China, you know what Chinamen are saying and shit, but I get the impression that they're more unified in the Western world right now. Then you need to ask yourself the question, geopolitically speaking, who has a dog in the fight to have a wobble in the Western democracies, to have lack confidence in the Western institutions and democracies rise? Well, it would be the adversaries of that clique. And then what would come into that, what would come into play on that in an economic sense, would be your BRICS, which incorporates Russia, incorporates China, and some Brazil, and South America, and India as well. So yeah, brilliant piece, bring it around, woohoo, full fucking steam ahead. I just think it's a fairer analysis. Oh, earthquake in Glasgow. Confirmed. I just think it's a fairer analysis to say this is about the world struggle, the world war that's going on just now. Primarily about the control of trade, isn't it? The flow of goods. Who has the infrastructure and where to control the shipping lanes and offer support. So again, it's the corporate fascism and all these systems that pretend to be communist, capitalist, democratic, liberalism, all that stuff. It shows you that if you scratch beneath the surface of all these bullshit systems that were served up to appease us, it's just business. It really is just business. Now, you could argue that business ruling the world is better than having kings and queens and elite douchebags fighting wars for games, for their own interests and stuff. But I think both systems are shite. Because the corporate system serves the corporations. The monarchy system serves the monarch. And ultimately the church, because the monarch is given its monarchy by God. So again, I would go for 5-year-oldism. It's a new ism that I've just invented. It's called Ask Uncorrupted 5-year-olds. Maybe swing at 4 or 6, I don't know, and get them to design a system from fucking top to bottom, and it'll be less corrupt and make more sense than the systems that the only systems that we get offered up as options just now, which all of them keeps you in a narrow band of thinking. They'll only offer you up systems which won't take away control from the merchants. Right? The merchants have, in my humble opinion, the merchants have successfully over centuries levered the power away from the ruling gentry in the church, and that's why we're staying in corporate fascism. I don't agree with either system, and it's time for, I don't know, I think it's beneficial to everybody to point that out, that we're only getting offered pre-tried and tested forms of retardation. Nobody's out there talking about, let's scrap it and start again. It's clearly failing. Look around you. We've got poverty in our own country while we're fucking sending out foreign aid, and nobody in the government can tell you that foreign aid isn't actually foreign aid, it's just like bribery and corruption. There isn't anybody out there that can tell you a straight answer for fucking anything. What's the BBC? Oh, it's television for the British people. Really? You know what I mean? So it's time to strip back all this bullshit about, I think it's time to strip back and start thinking about all the bullshit that's incorporated in all these systems that we got offered up. Anyway, I'm talking shite. Welcome everybody to the World Infowar News at 1 Live. If you appreciate it, make sure you thumbs it up, share it with your friends, family, foes. Please help the channel and the shows grow. I rely on you guys because YouTube no longer does the cross promotion. If you get any value and benefit from the live shows and streams I do, there's a Patreon and PayPal buttons down below. Consider using it if you get any value. It's digital busking, everything's available and accessible free of charge, and I hope to do such a good job that you will consider throwing in £1 or 2 because you get value from the shit I do. So Patreon and PayPal buttons down below, digital busking, use it if you get any value and spare change, not your life savings of course. So let's go and have a wee look. A triple prong attack today. We'll be doing the Rushki today, the BBC's today, and the UK column live stream. And as well, I forgot to say, welcome to the island of independence. As the info war rages on, you're getting hot with info bullets from RT, BBC, and the UK column, into your not telling you who to love, who to hate, who's good, who's to bad, what to think about, and this is what you should be protesting about. Well, let's analyse them all in one big clump. Let's see they're competing, and their competing agenda and their parallel agendas. I would argue you see a lot more parallel agendas from the independent media, UK column fraud, and the likes of Russia Today, than you will do the BBC and RT and UK column. But it's fun to analyse and see. So if you want to find out how I became the island of independence, go and look at the playlist on this channel, Vote Us Not Them, the full 2 elections, the 2 general elections I've held, and my Declaration of Independence to create myself as the founding father of Estonia and become an island of independence in the bullshit information war. So, welcome one and all. Say hi to folks in the chat and I'll get round to the bullshit. In the afternoon, everybody. Mr. Brown in the town, blazing stars. Charlotte in the afternoon, guys and girls. There's Arnold. How you doing, my man? Nice to see you in. There was Mr. Brown, Roberto Carlos, Charlotte blazing, Arnold, Christopher Spears. How you doing, Chris? Nice to see you in, my man. And that's all that's in so far this morning. So welcome, one and all. So let's firstly get around to the RTs. Again, I'll repeat my prediction for the next month. What you're going to see is RT turn into fucking Kiora. It's going to be watered down pish, 90% football, and they're going to stay away from any sensitive information war topics that will provoke the West into retaliating, because they want a smooth glide. They want a nice, easy month, a controlled burn of the information war for a month to allow and facilitate a glossy picture of the World Cup. Just a wee prediction, but hey, let's see if it pans out.
Making history with a handshake.
Captain Planet, he's a hero. Trump is gonna bring pollution down to zero.
Denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, while Donald Trump offers security guarantees. There are questions, though, about what's actually changed at the US end of the deal.
Yep, nothing.
We're not reducing anything. We're not reducing. A little bit early for that. We have to get things moving. The sanctions will remain in effect. We will be stopping the war games unless and until we see that the future negotiation is not going along like it should.
2 days and counting. The finishing touches are made ahead of the FIFA World Cup here in
F.E.A.R.
Russia. In part 2 of our World Cup special, Manchester United manager Jose Mourinho predicts the countries to make it to the latter rounds next month.
Okay, now it's getting even harder. Portugal, Uruguay, of course, because of my heart, but really tough match.
And Italy's new government makes good on one of its more divisive campaign promises, closing a port
Yeah,
to a vessel
bitches, the
carrying
rise
stricken
of populism. Three stories. North Korea,
Tuesday, the 12th
World
of
Cup,
June. It's now
and
3 p.m.
Italy
here
and
in Moscow. My
migrants.
name's Colin Bray. Welcome to your World News.
Hello,
from
Colin.
RT. First up for you, the big news out of Singapore today. It's deal done. The leaders of the US and North Korea
is it
earlier
really?
signed off on what's billed as an historic document of
be lifting the sanctions until Donald Trump talks about the previous. Well, there's obviously a huge amount of optimism around the world.
Obviously,
ahead
this
after
looks
all.
more
One
fur
of the key
coat and
elements
no
in Trump's
knickers
speech was a
than
promise to end
anything
his
of
country's war
substance.
games on the Korean
Well,
Peninsula.
Trump's
He
good at
described them
that.
as
But hey,
provocative.
let's watch
The
it.
Pentagon said, though, that it's yet to receive an order to halt its joint drills with South Korea. International affairs analyst Victor Gao told us that the North should treat America's pledges with caution.
let us give hope some chance. Let us be very optimistic for what the future may hold. However, also please allow me to emphasize that the United States does not have a good and solid track record of keeping its promises. Look at what happened to Iraq. Look at what happened to Libya. Look at what happened to Syria. Look at the fact that the United States under President Donald Trump decided to walk out of the Iran nuclear deal. All these are very alarming signs for DPRK, and I would not be surprised if they have analyzed the U.S. changes.
Mourinho has been making his predictions too. Last week he picked the countries to...
England is in the quarterfinal, and the big rivals, Brazil and Argentina,
football stars Lionel Messi and Mohamed.
Football,
but not
football.
An upcoming concert by a controversial Muslim rapper at the Bataclan Theatre has stunned people in Paris. 89 died in a terror attack at the venue.
Now, if you objectively think about the stories that RT continuously pump out, if you were to just assume they were a truther channel, you'd go, oh, they're telling you what the mainstream media in France doesn't. No, they're covering all the divisive topics, migration, fucking far left, far right shit. They don't even come from a particular stance or supporting one or the other, that's the trick, but they inject these arguments into the consciousness of the public. Right, this is Russia's English-speaking international news. Why are they pointing at all the immigrant shit in Sweden, Germany, France, all over Europe, all the similar things that continue to happen here? We go back to France and the Bataclan, and oh, this rapper said jihad, what does he mean? Nah, he shouldn't be rapping because he's got fucking a jihad album and the Bataclan and all that. It's, if you can't see the polarizing effect of these topics that RT continuously inject into the consciousness of people. And don't forget, RT's done their the vast majority of people that are watching RT's already done their job. People think RT's a truther channel, they're telling us what our government's want. No, RT's telling you what the Russian government want to tell you. Of course they're going to tell you the shit that the British government and the European governments don't tell you. They're going to tell you all the embarrassing stuff about their governments, but it's just a war of words, a war of information. These stories, all these events and shit that's going on in Europe and stuff that RT continuously point at, I dare say if you fucking tried hard enough or had enough money, like let's say RT behind you, you could go to Russia and you could find out all forms of shit like that going on as well. All forms of corruption, bullshit going on in Russia, and then continuously broadcast that into other... oh, hold on a sec. Free Liberty Radio. Oh, we already do that. The West have been doing that for fucking years. I think it's Free Liberty Radio. Numerous outfits out there that have been pumping Russian-speaking Western Genesis news stories into Russia. Now Russia has done it back to us. You can't ignore that is what's going on. It's propaganda for the information war. So you can't let yourself get propagandized. Well, I don't know. Once you understand it's propaganda and you're comfortable in yourself, it's fucking propaganda. It doesn't work on you anymore. Even though these stories are true, they're just fucking cherry picking all the shite stories to make you as an individual lose confidence in who Russia today wants you to lose confidence in. You ain't coming to your own conclusions. You're not witnessing what's going on around you. You are getting fed a narrative by Russia today. RT, put it in the mirror. TR, Tommy Robinson. Oh, Tommy. Anyway, so there's the Bataclan. A rapper rapping in the Bataclan. I think that's for the French people to decide, or even the people of Paris to decide. Why you're injecting that into my nut, I don't know. Unless you're wanting me to go now out there and rhyme and repeat that to everybody and go, you see what's happening in France? These dirty fucking Muslims are now getting to fucking do a concert in the Bataclan where they killed people. That's my humble opinion. What that story, what that information bullet, boo, 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 is designed to do, shot to you by Russia today. Anyway, here's Peter Schmeichel and some more football stuff. Pleasure boat incident on the Volga, which is in Russia. I would argue it's kind of like clickbait, isn't it? This kind of, oh wow, did you see that boat? Oh, pure toppled. I want to see that, the pictures. I'm the same. I'm the same. That's how I understand how this works, because it works on me. And I analyse that shit and I want to click on, couple filmed having sex in graveyard for 45. I was in the sun yesterday. I had to click. I couldn't not click and fucking see the pumping happening in the graveyard for 45 minutes. I had to. Anyway, and the Sun know that, and Russia Today know that, and we all know what fucking people will click on and unable not to click on. And here's Russia's new Italy's new government living up to their promises and doing what Donald Trump, jumping on the Donald Trump boat. Immigrants, brown people, kick them fucking out. Nigel Farage used that one. Le Pen used that one. Geert Wilders used that one. Tommy Robinson used that one. Trump used that one. UKIP used that one. You seen a part yet? All nationalists, all singing from the same hymn sheet, tickling your balls and ovaries with the same feather while telling you, we're all independent. We're independent. Stay tuned for tonight, by the way. I've got these motherfuckers on the ropes, I think. Right? Because what I'm doing is I'm documenting the truther industrial complex, both criticising the mainstream media in one breath for all singing from the same hymn sheet and doing the same talking points, and then on the next breath, talking the same fucking talking points as every cunt else in their network. These motherfuckers are so easy to spot once you see the pattern. I mean, they literally do it side by side. The No Agenda. Oh man, that was last week. You had the No Agenda and Mark Dice pretty much verbatim doing the same shit. I think it was fucking SPC or something. Talking about Trump releasing the job figures and I dare you find another president that done that, and they accepted the challenge. Oh, don't worry, they're just telling you how they hate fucking immigrants, don't worry. These fucking brown cunts. Just go and listen to Tommy Robinson. Imagine Tommy Robinson in an Italian accent, and that's pretty much what you'll be getting right now from Russia Today. Put it in the mirror, TR. They're working in cahoots. But, same rhetoric, all coming from independent sources. And in the same fucking podcast, they're literally slagging off the media that they say are liars, while the fake media, while they say they're the real media, but they're doing the exact same fake-ass motherfucking parlour tricks. And this is like, I'm documenting this time and time again, showing the patterns, showing the cooperation between the independent members of the fucking truther industrial complex, all talking about the same shit. Miss Universe and fucking Trump. No, Miss Universe. Miss America, Trump, migrants. Same shite. Absolute same shite and drivel. Anyway, let's see, that's
at home for people.
That's
so
Russia Today finished.
The need to flee for their lives.
So let's recap Russia Today. Trump, World Cup, Italy and Malta migrants, French Muslim rapper at the Bataclan in Volgograd boat. Bullshit. Then if they've got time, they might also squeeze in Ohio. Use your vote or lose it. I mean, they're telling you about Americans making decisions about how Americans should vote in an American election, but the English-speaking Russian propaganda news outfit's going to inject that into your nut. But why? We should, as patriotic nationalists, we should give a fuck about what decisions America are making for themselves. Oh no, hold on, that's unlogical, that makes too much sense. We can't have like a moral compass and logic and follow it. No, it doesn't work in propaganda. Afghanistan, Russia talking about Afghanistan because they love the people of Afghanistan. They just love them. Love them. Let's see what the BBC's are saying to it.
President Donald Trump and North Korea's Kim Jong-un make history with a handshake.
Thank you very much.
UK column.
The leaders later signed a document which included a pledge from Mr. Kim to work to rid the Korean peninsula of nuclear weapons.
People are going to be very impressed. People are going to be very happy. And we're going to take care of a very big and very dangerous problem for the world.
Well, both leaders have now left. We'll have the latest analysis from Singapore and Washington. Also this lunchtime. A junior minister quits the government on the day of a crucial vote about Parliament's final role in any Brexit deal. An alleged member of a banned neo-Nazi group has admitted plotting to murder an MP and threatening to kill a police officer. Aaron Banks, the founder of the Leave.eu campaign, says he did give Russian embassy officials telephone numbers of President Trump's inner circle, but only after asking their permission. And heading to Russia for the World Cup, England manager Gareth Southgate.
Donald Trump's
from the start.
And the surprise revealed his chance to show America's greatness in this region.
In part to the efforts of South Korea, united by today's images, but the South Korean leader says this is just the beginning. There may be many difficulties ahead. China, too, seems pleased. Beijing will need to play a crucial role as this process unfolds.
Today, that the two countries' highest leaders can sit together and
has also got a lot. He's got the
presidents before, like Ronald Reagan and his dealings with Mikhail Gorbachev.
Oh, here's the
to
Brexit
May's
stuff.
narrow working majority. Alex Forsyth.
Theresa May still no managed to squeeze this Brexit out. She's fucking, oh man. She needs a wee bit of... She needs her arsehole fucking greased a wee bit to squeeze this Brexit out. And like I often find the best way to approach all this information warfare shite before you end up, because before you end up going into illogical arguments, like the genesis of all this, what is it all about? Genuinely, what is this all about? Where does it come from? All this Brexit shit. Because I can't hear any real arguments about what Brexit is or isn't and what should be. I hear people arguing about this is going to cost us more, this is going to cost us less. This wasn't a cost-benefit analysis. I'm pretty sure this was a decision by the British people where they wanted the decision-making power, the decision-making processes, they want the decision-making processes in a sovereign country, i.e. the country of the United Kingdom who voted, brings back all the decision-making processes that a sovereign country has back into its borders? Or do we have it in Brussels? Nobody's talking about this anymore. It's all single market this, could we, should we, hard fucking border that, Brexit this. That isn't what the British people voted for. The British people didn't vote for what was best for their bottom fucking dollar. Although that was the semantics that every fucking political argument gets fucking dragged into, isn't it? Because we're all whores to money, unfortunately. And we're all whores to it. We're all political whores in a sense as well. You get the left and the right up there. We've all seen this in our lifetime, eh? Like people making decisions who they're going to vote for because it's best for their fucking bottom pocket. Fuck, my dad owned a fucking... owned his business and stuff. He fucking voted Tory because he fucking thought he was going to have more money in his pocket. Pure and simple bribery and corruption, and he fell for it. Can you blame him? No, he just wanted more money in his pocket to do what he wanted with his family. He'd never really thought in depth about it. Like, oh, hold on a sec, I might be up a few quid, I might be down a few quid, but I'm literally selling my soul here. I'm a political whore. I've not even thought about the politics of this shit. I'm just going with who's fucking going to be better for my bottom dollar. And that's the way Brexit was took down by both parties. Remember there was a wee Farage talking about sovereignty and all that, then big Bobo Johnson came in and went, although I'm pro-EU, I'm now fucking anti-EU and I'm bringing this out. The party that was fucking taking us into Europe, hijacked taking us out of Europe so they could fucking take us down the route that they wanted us to while discussing coming out of Europe. This whole Brexit shit fucking discussion, nobody is talking about. We want the decision making process within our borders for everything. Everything. We don't care how much it costs us. We don't fucking care. This trade, that trade, Mr. Cadbury, Mr. fucking Grants, Mr. Tesco's. The British voting public want the decision-making process back brought into the sovereign territory of the fucking country we've been told we're a citizen of. Anyway, I digress. I'm pretty sure she knows more about Brexit than me.
That's the latest.
No Brexit! No racist EU exit!
On the streets of London last night, protesters made their feelings.
And no offence, see those like lovely, well-meaning people that with their face, they look like they've never had a bad day in their life, don't they? See, when you meet people like that, though, yeah, maybe it's just me and my bias, right? Probably I'm dead biased, man, because I don't know. I can't. I'm like, I don't know. People that seem to appear to be on fucking happy fucking Neverland 100% of the time, it doesn't ring true to me. I can only maybe they really do just have Teletubbies going through their head 24/7. But to me, that denotes a fucking lack of cognitive ability to like sort of think about things a wee bit deeper. And it's always these hey yeah, and they've got no range of fucking emotions. I think that's a better way to describe it. See people that don't have a genuine range of emotion, that when you speak to them, their face doesn't go through, I'm not sure what you're saying, I get it. I feel like I'm talking to an inanimate object. I'm like, are you a genuine fucking human being? Anyway, I digress.
At which we know what the full deal is on Brexit, the House of Commons can...
Again, nobody's... We want to know what Brexit is before we vote for it. Well, we already voted for it. We knew what it was. The decision-making processes that have been given away to Brussels regarding everything from the fucking bendiness of our bananas to fucking the European Union High fucking Court of Human Rights and all that shit. All the attacks on the British sovereignty, i.e. where the decisions get made. If you've got a high court in Europe that's higher than the high court in Britain, that fucking court's useless. And these are the things that it is about, but these are the things no cunt talks about. Anyway, here's
So
Baldy
you literally sent her out to
Ian
bat.
It
Duncan
encourages
Smith.
other like-minded Tory ministers to also throw themselves off the Brexit.
Significance of today.
And again, like this whole shite shows the farce of any political system that relies on political parties. Where the fuck did this idea come from? Where? When we're sorting out, fuck knows, democratic vote sounds good. Better than a lot of things we've been offered up. Better than a dictator? Aye. Right, okay, but are we going to vote as individuals following our moral compass? Oh, no. What you do is you need to sign your soul away to a political party and then just agree with them. Right, hold on a second, that's no kind of like voting on your principles, voting about what's right and what's wrong. You're already dictated to by the party political system what way you're going to vote. I mean, it fucking pokes me with a stick when I hear them talking about, oh, today's vote is an open vote. Ministers can vote with their fucking conscience, not with their fucking party political fucking stance. Nobody stops for a wee second to analyse what's going on in democracy fucking scam. Here's two ideas. These are the two ideas you're allowed to fucking think about. Boom. Here's fucking a couple of hundred people to talk about those two ideas. Step away from those two ideas, we'll put a bullet fucking in your heads, call you a fucking traitor, call you stupid and not understanding and participating in the democracy, but you want to talk about those two ideas, batter in, pig and shite, go into that house and argue about those two ideas alone. And here, in fact, here's a book of what you can and cannot say in that house of democracy scam as well, and batter in, go and discuss important issues.
Chris Morris from our Reality Check team can explain more.
So the EU withdrawal bill is the domestic legislation that will formalise UK exit from the European Union, and it's back in the House of Commons.
Formalised? I thought it'd already been formalised and fucking ratified and then happening here. It's like the Brexit shit hokey cokey.
For further consideration after the government was defeated 15 times in the House of Lords. Now it wants to reverse 14 of those votes on things such as specifying the time and date of...
Again, sorry to pause this here, but you do need to interject this shit. Go and look into the UK column, who are the British Constitution Group, who came out of the British Constitution Association at the end of the 20th century. No, I think it was the beginning of the 20th century. Maybe they came out the end of the 19th century and at the beginning of the 20th century. And if you go and look at all these people, who were they? They were like descendants of they were surnames such as Balfour, and I'm making these ones up now, but you'll get the point. Lord Farquhar and Lord Inkledink and Lord fucking Longthorn and Long fucking Jackknack. It's all your fucking lords and ladies. Look what was happening politically and geopolitically at the same time. There was the decolonialisation of the world happening, the apparent contraction of the British Empire, the emergence of a will for a Jewish state in Jerusalem and Palestine, and a want and a will for the destruction of the... And a want and a will to bring down the Ottoman Empire at the same time as the British Empire apparently was contracting. So, my argument is, on the surface, the British Empire appeared to fucking evaporate and become the Commonwealth. My argument is that's all smoke and mirrors. The same person's the head of state for the same fucking area of land, aka the Crown Corporation, the Crown Estate, which is a corporate entity managed in the City of London, and it does become clear to you. So the shit that the political fracturing that's happening in America right now between the crime cabal of the Clintons and the mafia crime cabal of Trump is also happening elsewhere in the world, and not by accident. In the UK, it's the House of Parliament and the House of Lords who are butting heads now. And then if you look at the non-party affiliated political charity, you could also call it an NGO. The British Constitution Group, who's the UK column broadcast out their office. Go and look at the British Constitution Association, where that came from, and you'll find that these groups were set up by lords. What are lords? Lords are... shit, I'm going to fuck up the description of this. Hereditary... shit! Inheritary titles of land. Right? It's the British Empire fucking landowners, right? You know do you know what gang sign is synonymous with the British Empire's landowners? Tweed. Oh fuck. Do you know where the British Empire were ball deep? And you'll see all this, you'll see where the British Empire was ball deep, and you'll see the links to the old colonial powers in these countries. You'll see it all linked back to the colonial powers when you look at the current media. And I'll give you an exact example because I know exactly what I'm talking about here. The rebel media. I forget the exact details, but the rebel media, for example, coming out of Canada, you go and trace back the rebel media, it traces back to an old tabloid or old news a newspaper outfit in the Canadians who was pro-colonial, who were in existence during the colonial times, who were pro-colonial at the time when it was becoming what apparently an independent state. And you see the hangover of the British Empire, the British corporate interests, at the heart of all these truther industrial complex independent fucking media sources. And then when you look at the political fracture that's happening here in the UK, where you get the House of Parliament want to take us into Europe and merge our sovereignty, the British sovereignty, not my sovereignty, I'm a sovereign individual, and merge the UK's sovereignty with the European Union, and it's the British landowners, the House of Lords, that are trying to stop this. And at the same time, you see political movements happening in all the old colonial areas. You see this shit getting propagated in Australia. You see this shit, the white genocide stuff, getting propagated in Australia right now as well. You see Nutjob, part of this movement as well. And Israel set up out of the guilds of the city of London and Lord Rothschild's corporate interest to set up that state. For what reason? You come to your own conclusions, who cares? For whatever reason, it's irrelevant. Look what they're doing to gain control of that area of the world. And it's fucking genocide and ethnic cleansing by a lot of fucking different people's definitions. And oh god, fucking rant over anyway, but this is a lot of the topics that these fraudulent fucking news sites, both in Russia Today, BBC and the UK column, will never take in here. Anyway, I digress.
Brexit or the EU's Charter of Fundamental Rights, either outright or through new amendments which have been proposed by the government.
Right. So this is an argument about who fucking enslaves you. The House of Lords wants you to stay enslaved to Westminster, and the Parliament and the EU wants you to transfer your slave rights, your slave terms to the European Union. Then analyse the Scottish National Party, who are marching you into the European Union. I mean, it isn't overcomplicated when you strip it back to the genesis and simplify what these cunts genuinely fucking want, instead of what they're fucking saying to tickle your balls.
Or by backbench MP that it has
customs
from
union.
The coast of Sicily, where it's several dozen miles away, all the way to Spain. It needs help, and the Italian authorities...
RT's already covered that.
And Christopher Lithgow is the man accused of being the secret leader of the group who encouraged him to carry out the murder.
We let these people destroy us, and they are still destroying us now.
What's kind of scary, look, the exact fucking thing that's behind him, these cunts, the Scottish Defence League. Right? These are some fucking dangerous, warped, fucking backward, retarded fucking people who think they're saving us. Craziness. Now, who the fuck are brainwashing these people into this shit? And if you get first-hand experience with these fucking groups, you'll fucking know the answer. Go and figure it out for yourself. Go and touch base with these groups. They're all over the fucking place. Right, it'll start off with a wee bit of anonymous, a wee bit of fucking anarchy groups. Within those groups, you'll get the wee bit more of the hardcore people that want to go and do something about it. What have you got a big fucking stick in your car for? I bash the fash. Right, so you're actually carrying around a big fucking stick with the pretext of going and beating up fascist people. You know, that sounds pretty fucking fascist to me, backward retard. That sounds like some cunt has talked you into fucking being violent on their behalf. You're not even going around going, I want to protect myself, I want to go and bash the fash. And in the meantime, trying to go to training groups. Witnessed it first hand. Let's go down here, everybody's getting together and all that. I mean, some scary ass shit. But hey, Island of Independence, the tractor beams of all these fucking forms of retardation, brain control, mass manipulators, puppet masters if you want. no place in Hostonia.
With 4 other men, they are charged with being members of National Action, a group banned by the Home Secretary as a virulently racist terrorist organisation after it celebrated the killing of the MP Joe Cox. With all 6 defendants listening intently, the prosecutor Duncan Atkinson QC told the jury that the plan to kill another MP was discussed at a pub in Warrington last summer. The group met at this table upstairs in the big window at the Friar Penketh pub on the 1st of July. The prosecution...
Free advertising. Hey man, let's go there and fucking plan our next. Now, I would argue as well, God, I don't want to put a percentage on it, right, but a certain percentage of these people that are now being brainwashed enough to join these fucking national action groups and all these groups that are out there, I'm pretty sure maybe a lot of the genesis of these morons is V for Vendetta. They've literally been programmed by a fucking film. V for Vendetta. Now, I'm not just saying this fucking shooting for fucking nowhere. I've witnessed it. I've witnessed people from Glasgow collectives going and fucking fighting in Syria for the fucking Kurds and all that shit. I'm fighting ISIS, what are you doing? Whew! You're fucking tuned to the moon, mate, and putting yourself in a fucking war zone when you'd fucking saying you're anti-war. You dumb fuck. Turn yourself into a soldier for peace. War is over, mofos. But only if we want it. See, war's over in Hostonia, man. 3 years old and 0 fucking wars. 0 wars. Create all our own wee fucking independent sovereign nations called ourselves. And then don't war with any cunt. Or only war when war comes to your doorstep. Anyway, I digress.
Renshaw told the group that his plan was to murder his local MP, Rosie Cooper, take some hostages, and then kill a female detective who'd been investigating him. The plan to...
Now, I don't know about you, this sounds like a bunch of batshit fucking crazy cunts that have watched a wee bit too much 24. Watched V for Vendetta a couple 100 times too many. Have watched, I don't know, CSI Glasgow too many times. Right? Maybe watched one too many anonymous videos making you feel like you're some sort of a hacker sent from fucking Planet Zog to save people by doing some retarded shit that some moron that you've been convinced is a good guy tells you to do. Then next thing you know, you've got all these daft ass fucking groups out there want to kill, murder, kidnap. Now, who knows how retarded these people are and how many of these events would actually get carried out. There's a part of me with the super skepticism that knows and thinks the state will jump all over stupid cunts saying stupid shit, make it appear to be real, to give the appearance to the citizens that the security state apparatus is protecting us, right? I ain't fucking naive or ignorant to not even that possibility. I'm sure that there's a part of that in this story here as well. What I'm saying is the truth usually lies somewhere in between. These could have just been a bunch of these retards left alone. Might have just done fuck all ever apart from sitting around and going, yeah, didn't you my neighbour's router, man, hacker #1. Oh man, I watched V for Vendetta for the 2,300th time last night. Oh, couldn't get any better. Or what was the other one that they fucking brought out to brainwash cunts into thinking hacking is nothing? See, hacking, it's like a digital peeping tong? Peeping tongs, aye, peeping tongs. Peeping toms. It attracts weirdos and creeps. Hey man, look at me. I can hack it. Why? What the fuck are you want to hack for? Well, people are hacking. Oh, so you're now turning. People are hacking you. So you now want to turn in to the fucking. I don't know. What is big and clever? I've just disgusting. It really does not appeal to me on any level. And when I've been out and I've heard people boasting about this stuff and all that, you're sitting there going, I need to hold my tongue here. These people are just like, you're a peeping Tom, and you think that's cool because you managed to picklock somebody's window. And what secrets did you find out about the Illuminati? No, you're just looking at naked pictures of that guy and his chick. Woo! Beautiful! Beautiful! Now, I need to admit, I was pissing myself laughing when I was hearing this and going, because it's a funny story. But see, like, hear those people fucking doing that shit and think it's big and clever and it's a game. It's a game. People that have got robotic minds. Oh, I'm a Krypton Factor fucking contestant. I watched iRobot in V for Vendetta 10 times. Now I'm going to go and crack the Illuminati fucking master frame. God, man, these fucking are programmed individuals that have been fucking taught to be creepy. Creepy digital peeping Toms. And then what all these morons do then justifies the state to rock up and go, look what this fucking creep's doing. Look what this creep's doing. Look what this creep's doing. Look what this creep's doing. Here, look what this creepy retard done. Look what this creepy retard done. And Shazam, they've got all the cannon fodder they need to fucking justify all the totalitarian rules and regulations on the interwebs. And you know what? We're witnessing it. Hey man, but I DDoSed a site. We synchronized their watches, man, and DDoS. We took down the BBC website for like 15 minutes, man. Oh, great. Great, you've managed to annoy enough people that they think DDoSing and the tools to DDoS or ever do that at any point is so fucking annoying that they're going to make laws against it. Brilliant. You're doing the crime to create the laws. And they don't even, yeah man, we fought the power though. We took down the banking website for like an hour. Great. How many millions of people, if not hundreds of thousands, have you annoyed that wanted access to their money and do shit? And you haven't cost the bank any money. All you've done is given the government the material they need to write the laws that the banks want. Oh, but anyway, enough about that. Not ranting
the
about
kill
that
Rosie
shit.
Cooper was uncovered because the anti-racism organisation Hope Not Hate had a mole in the group, Robbie Mullen, who was also there at the pub that night. According to Robbie...
God, man, these fucking left, right, retardations of the same mind. They all fucking think they're James Bond. They all think they're fucking V for Vendetta cunts. Living in fucking... Oh, God.
Mullen, Jack Renshaw wanted to carry out the murder in the name of national action, and that night Christopher Lithgow gave his approval. Christopher Lithgow denies that, and all 6 men deny being members of national action after it was banned. Daniel Sanford, BBC News, at the Old Bailey.
God. Sounds like a big retard fest, doesn't it? Moles, the anonymous masks, and we're saving the world one fucking daft sign at a fucking time. And it just sounds like a bunch of fucking 12 people that are backward and retarded. And they're probably about 12-year-old in their head, and they're all playing Jason Bourne and James Bond and soldiers and spies, and they've all watched V for Vendetta too many times, and they're all playing the parts that these fucking MK Ultra tools have told them to do, and they're sitting round a pub talking about, I'm going to blow up the fucking Starship Enterprise and kill Spock, because that will take down the feds. God, man.
The multi-millionaire businessman who founded the Leave.eu campaign, Aaron Banks, has been telling MPs there is no evidence that he was involved in a conspiracy with Russian officials. Talking to the Digital Culture, Media and Sport Committee, he claimed to be the victim of a witch hunt. John Pienaar has been listening at Westminster. Explain more, John.
Oh God, I missed the important details here.
Britain's biggest in history political donor conspire with Russia ahead of the vote for Brexit? That was the big question in the air when Aaron Banks finally agreed to take questions before MPs here at the House of Commons. And as expected, his denials of any and all wrongdoing weren't just total, they were scornful, they were mocking. He admitted that he'd spoken to, had been in contact with the Russian ambassador a number of times. Previously, he'd admitted to one such contact, but he said the first contact had happened before the referendum campaign had even properly taken off.
We've now got a full-scale Russian witch hunt going on.
No, before that was all.
Aaron Banks. Fuck me. Aaron Banks. Anyway, there you go. More details of how complex this shit is, and it's not just Russia versus Britain and Britain versus America. There are political divides in all these countries, and the political landscape is getting reshaped in all these countries, and that's why the information's ongoing to try and steer the political discourse whatever way they want it. And this is more evidence of it, but nobody will ever talk about that. They'll dress it up as this, Russia done this and Britain done that, and it's more complex, I would argue. Anyway, let's
Before that all occurred,
wrap this up.
World Cup, the team is due.
They're all looking for.
Yes, the football is going to be very, very nice this year. Right, let's see the UK column. Did it touch on Tommy Robinson shit?
It's Tuesday, the 12th of June 2018, just after 1 o'clock. Welcome to UK Column News. Your host today, Mike Robinson.
Some people are taking a pretty pessimistic view. Mostly people that are involved in the mainstream media that are normally.
Oh, yes, a pessimistic view. Yeah, this is really the best thing ever. It really goes to show that although we don't have Trump t-shirts on, and we can't really openly say we support Trump, if you actually analyse objectively the shit we put out, yes, we're pro-Trump, and every bit of political change the Trump train is trying to affect worldwide. These little fucking disgusting rat fucking boys. This Irish bastard sitting on the UK column. Well, we're the UK column, independent journalists. What's the name? Who owns the studio? God.
In recent months and years.
Anyway, pro-Trump shite.
That's what's going to happen. And then that's going to be followed up with joint work to assert a common narrative about Theresa's cat and a response to the eating of Theresa's cat. And of course, the mainstream media will be absolutely fully involved in that. Now, it's quite interesting that Theresa May gave a briefing on the G7 summit to the House of Commons yesterday. And she mentioned the rapid reaction mechanism, sorry, the rapid response mechanism. Did she mention either of these key bullet points? Absolutely not. It wasn't mentioned in the House of Commons yesterday in terms of coordinated attribution of hostile activity or joint work to assert a common narrative. So is that tantamount to misleading the House by omission?
By omission, yeah. When I read that, Mike, what my mind says is this is common purpose. This is working to a common purpose. There is going to be no independent view.
When I'm listening to this, all I hear is the same shit from the UK column again and again and again. Theresa May bad, Brexit good, the House of Lords great. UK column are the British Constitution Group. The British Constitution Group came about from the British Constitution Association. Look into who the British Constitution Association was set up by and ran by, and you have your answer who's behind the whole truther industrial complex, including the American entities of it.
Which took place obviously in March, and this is according to the German television station RBB. It is still only known that the poison used in the attack was a nerve agent called Novichok, which was once produced by the Soviet Union, is the quote, but unfortunately they've no...
Right. Now, Russia Today are going to go all Kiora for the next month while the World Cup's on. They're not going to be firing direct bullets at Britain, like, for example, pointing out maybe some of the absurdities of the Skripal case. But they'll use it to the UK column, and the UK column has the UK's best interests at heart. Do you want to know how I know that? Because they've got UK in their title. For what other reason would they have UK in their name if they weren't UK patriots? Tell me. Now, let me look at InfoWars and Truth Juice and Truth Stream Media, and I tell you the truth because I am the truth because I say truth all the time. Welcome to the Truther movement, where there is no lies, only truth. Even the lies are truth in the Truther movement.
Further information. So, I appreciate the rapid reaction mechanism. It's a new thing. It has not in a position to be deployed yet, but clearly this is the type of thing that Theresa wants to avoid in the future.
Yeah, because she didn't quite get the story to stick.
No.
That's the big problem. So we need a common line, a common purpose, so that if the British government creates another street theatre incident, then we can be sure that all the other European countries will toe the line.
A street theatre incident?
That's going to happen, Mike, as perhaps the Germans are showing.
Yes.
Well, let's focus on the power base, and the power base, of course, is money. It is the international banking cartel. And I have to say that this gentleman, Noel Edmonds, has been doing a lot of extremely good work. UK Column has received quite a lot of information about his good work over the last few months. Some of it we couldn't speak about at the time, but more and more.
Coincidentally, is that a tweed jacket that he's sporting there? I couldn't exactly tell you. I'm not that much up in my fashion. But it is one of the gang signs that will allow you to recognise. Remember Lord Monckton? Who used to bounce up and like the guy that fucking get biggest bug eyes in the fucking world. I can talk. And you'd be like, oh, why the fuck is Lord Monckton turning up in info whores telling me there's a new world order and all that? It's a fucking Lord Farquhar for fucking Middle Earth. What the fuck does he care about Alex Jones? When you put him into the picture I believe to be accurate of the Truth or Industrial Complex and the genesis of where it came from, makes perfect sense. That's why you get Jacob Rees-Mogg. He went to School of the Dragon. I think his school was called the Dragon School. Can't remember exact details, but definitely fucking Dragon School or some shit, man. Go and look who these people are that are bouncing up and supporting Tommy Robinson and that political agenda. Now, there's no Edmund's been made a lord or some shit.
Coming into the public domain. So the BBC article here gives a little bit of it. Noel Edmonds seeks 50 million damages for HBOS fraud. I thought this was a useful headline, Mike, because essentially the BBC seems to be pointing a finger at Noel Edmonds, saying, well, he wants to claim half of the £100 million compensation pot that's been created. So the BBC sort of digging at the banks, but not much. They're pointing a finger at Noel Edmonds.
Attacking their own, as it were.
UK Column kind of attacking the establishment, but not really. They'll stop at the House of Lords and the Magna Carta. Funny that, isn't it? Oh, we would need to go back to the good old days, you know, when everything was so much better. Aye.
Certain degree.
Well, I think attacking anybody who dares point a finger at criminals inside the international banks. But if people are not aware of this story, I encourage you to research and find out as much as you can, because Noel Edmonds has really taken lead position in challenging the banks as to what's been going on. And this YouTube clip you can find, it's entitled Noel Edmonds at Lloyd's AGM, May 24th, 2018. And he's getting stuck into the bank, not only on the fact that, of course, his and other people had their money stolen, but the banks are not honouring their promise to actually compensate.
Well, you know, and in his defence, if the BBC is going to attack him in that way, we should remember that he is not chasing this compensation on the basis of money that was stolen from him personally alone. He had a business, he was employing people, it destroyed people's livelihoods and people's jobs. And of course, his point in this video that you have on screen at the moment was that if we look at other banking scandals, the amount of money that was initially set aside to compensate people for those banking scandals was a fraction of the amount of money that was ultimately needed to meet the proper levels of compensation that were required. So the BBC can make a claim that he's trying to take half of the pot. He's maybe talking about half of the pot as it's currently defined, but that pot is going to grow because, of course, Lloyd's is only one of the banks that was destroying people's businesses at that time.
Yes, indeed. And let's have a look at what he said in that video. And I only took this out of the first few minutes because it was so impressive. He said, I'm
Is this a real
Lloyd
quote?
shareholder.
It's really hard to tell the difference between real quotes and fake quotes on the UK column, because if a lot of the shows, they'll just make shit up, put it in quotation marks with the person's face up there and go, we're making a joke here, but a lot of people watch it and can't make that disconnect anyway. But again, more real news by Fake News UK Fifth Column.
Been asked by other shareholders to put questions on their behalf. Your bank, that should be, destroyed my business. Over 100 people lost their jobs, lives were destroyed. And as you've done with thousands of small and medium-sized enterprises, we were groomed, we were pillaged, we were destroyed for millions. So that was pretty crunchy. And he went on to say this. He mentioned his particular company, Unique Group. He said, I lost millions. You actually stole millions from me. Last year, I listened to you and your chief executive promising a swift and fair compensation for all victims, but that process has not materialised. And I've added, nor has the police investigation, arrests and trial of similar ongoing fraud and corruption in the wider banking system materialise. So the important thing here is that many people at the moment are exposing fraud in the banking system. That may be over toxic debt, but it is also over the fact that many mortgages or the whole mortgage procedure is fraudulent, money not being loaned, money being created at the time that the mortgage itself is created. And we now have people who have been hurt to the tune of millions of pounds also starting to experience this problems within the
The UK column hate the banks. I'm now on board with them.
banking system. And the
next they'll be telling me they hate paedophiles as well. Oh man, how can you disagree with that?
important thing is that people like Noel Edmonds have had
This tin of bone broth. It tells me everything I want to hear on the fucking tin. Oh, I love bone broth now.
the courage to actually stand up and be counted.
Hold on. The British Constitution Group, a non-party affiliated political charity, is telling me what I want to hear. I shouldn't question that. I'm signing up and giving them my loyalty and going to just believe everything they say and that they're good guys here to save me from now on.
In challenging.
That is so smart. You know, I wanted to think for myself, but no, these guys hate the banks. They sometimes talk about the crimes of Israel, and they hate the banks and tell you how bad the government is.
The bank.
But they don't tell you they're the British Constitution Group and they're a non-party affiliated political charity who kind of seem to be fighting for the House of Lords.
So if you're not aware what's going on over this, please have a good look, and also have a look on the wider internet for the people that are now speaking out about the whole fraud.
Yes, go to Ian Crane, InfoWars, Patrick Henningsen, Northern Exposure, don't forget that, David Scott, all these independent sources on the internet telling you the same thing. It must be true. Look, so many independent people out there now telling you that is bad.
Around mortgages, and many people are challenging this on an individual basis. I think we're going to see a lot more of this, Mike, because of course we're now starting to get whistleblowers from within the banking system itself.
Absolutely. Okay. They're surrounded by Saudi and UAE forces and
bottles, metal barriers and beer at the police. No actual...
Oh, brilliant. Right, so we had the Monday whitewashed so we could get our fucking story straight. Now comes the Tuesday, now they're talking about it.
Mention that more than this young man. And I have... And this is... He was pushed very interesting.
Hold of a copy if you can.
Oh, AV9, all the independent journalists come together in one mecca place and we all kind of say the same shit differently. And that we've got the Tommy Sheridan for the leprechauns. We've got Sugar Tits over here for the guys without girlfriends. We've got Brian Gerrish for people who still want to like the BBC, but just don't believe them anymore. We've got every cuddly toy for every freak in the circus. AV9. Oh, we'll get Mr. Toad as well. But anyway, let's hear them talking about what they refused to talk about yesterday, even though how the fuck could you not talk about that when you're independent media? Anyway.
It was a fantastic weekend and hugely interesting talks.
Well, some outstanding talks, I think, is the answer to that. So encourage people to get hold of that if you can. Okay, well, we said we would do a little bit more of a follow-up on the Tommy Robinson demonstration. There was certainly quite a lot circulating.
Oh, God, am I sitting there? I went through yesterday's UK column and I must have missed it, or they must have just briefly talked on it until they could get all their what's that saying? All their stories in line, all their soldiers in line. I can't remember the saying.
On the internet over the weekend, and we've decided to pull out a couple of things to have a look at.
Oh yeah, just randomly. Yes, let me see. The UK column fighting for the UK. You can tell by their name, and they randomly pulled this shit out their arse.
Now, one of the reports that we had is that it was an independent news team that seemed to be only there for the purpose of reporting on violence and trouble.
Independent as in the independent newspaper?
Indeed, yes. the Independent. We found this very interesting, but the reports that we've had is that it was an independent newspaper team that was there, and they were clearly focusing on anything and everything that could have been part of violence. So
if you cannot hear the UK column sucking on Tommy Robinson's little fucking pecker right here, then I don't know how to lay it out to you. You are blinded by the cult of personality of Gerrish or Fat fucking Robinson or Henningsay or whatever that cunt's name is, or just the fact that the UK column are just old chaps sitting round fighting for Britain and Brexit, right? This is the interference. My God, let me show you. Let me just show you this shit. Worthwhile doing. I do believe. Right, yeah, cool. Look at that more closely later. No violence at all. The only violence was from the Skinbo, Soy Boy, Antifa plants. Now, in today's fucking world of retardation, man, that is pretty much up there. There's video footage showing running mobs of like 20, 40, 60 and people that have witnessed gang violence firsthand, or let's say football hooliganism firsthand when there's been fighting and shit. You know how this fucking works. And you get people charging the front line. You need somebody to do it first, right? But once somebody does it first, everybody gathers strength and momentum, and then the mob mentality. And we were witnessing that. There's video footage of this shit. Them trying to say that there was soy boy fucking Antifa people. Well, they done a pretty good job as fucking passing themselves off as baldy heady. You know, people that are, when they're and like, I'm not having a go at people like this, man. I fucking know lots of people like this and love them. It's just pointing out the caricature of the fucking your average Tommy Robinson fan. You know, these baldy heated cunts that have so much muscle or fat that their back of their head actually has a fucking mouth. You know what I mean? Their baldy head has like a fucking, like, it's like a wrinkle, you know what I mean? But if you put two fucking eyeballs at the back of their head, it look like a fucking mouth. You don't see too many Antifa people like that, do you? Or is it just me? I've never witnessed too many. Maybe one or two you could say could pop out of the woodwork, but not 20, 30, 40, all moving forward at the same point, fucking throwing signs, trying to throw signs at the copper van and end up hitting themselves and all that. Tune in tonight, 10 o'clock, I've got all the footage, I'll be going through it. These people are fucking crazy, right? So now the UK column are popping up and trying to say, well, all the bad things you've seen were just wee small pockets of... Yeah, you want to join the Island of Independence? Here you go. Wee small pockets. I mean, wow. The UK column, man. The UK column's biased reporting is coming very much clearer into focus.
Somebody had fallen over. If somebody was pushed over, they were there. So I was interested to see this article. Tommy Robinson's supporter cries and wails uncontrollably as he's handcuffed by police at far-right rally. Man pictured moments earlier holding a banner reading F Islam. And this is written by a gentleman called Chris Baines. There was a photograph well, actually, this is the video that was embedded into this article. And this is the supporter being handcuffed by police. And yes, he is wailing and protesting. And I have to say, if you watch the video, it's quite clear at one point that this is quite a lot of street theatre from this young man. But nevertheless, it's interesting as to why he's actually being handcuffed, because he's saying, I don't even know why you're doing this to me. And we'll come on to that a little bit more in a second. But here's part of the report from The Independent. It focuses on violence. 9 people were arrested after Saturday's protest turned violent, with demonstrators throwing...
The march turned into a front line of fucking between 20... I fuck knows, 20 minimum, man. There must have been more than 20. Easy 40 to 80, maybe 100 people, because you couldn't even... The video footage I've seen, you couldn't see the start and the front of the rush of the line. You know, just... And then, like, them jumping up and down on top of buses and all that.
Bottles, metal barriers and beer at the police. No actual mention, Mike, at all about the sheer scale of the demonstration, and therefore you...
And therefore, it turned a little bit fucking violent. They were rushing coppers. One of them threw a traffic cone at a police horse in a fucking police horse van thing. Any copper will fucking do, and you're trying to do a copper, know what I'm saying? I mean, these people showed themselves up for the fucking the reality of who they are and who's mobilised them. This is a coming together of football firms with mindless morons that can be motivated to go and can go and fight people. They can be motivated to fight people because of what football strip they've got on. That isn't a joke. That isn't me using analogies. The people that are motivated to fight for Tommy Robinson to save us against Islam are motivated to fight other men because of what football top they have on, or what football team they support. That is the mentality of these people. And now you've got wee ginger sack fucking garish running interference. And let's not forget fat Irish cunt Mike Robinson sitting on the UK column. Fuck off over to Ireland, you totty picker, and fucking fight for, I don't know, Northern Ireland to remain part of Britain, or Ireland to remain, I don't know, I don't know, I can't follow your logic. A fat Irish cunt fighting for the British sovereignty.
You don't see the context of the violence. So if we look at the size of the demonstration itself, an ex-policeman said he estimated that there could have been 50,000 people there by the number of people packed into certain areas of Whitehall in particular, but they were also there in Trafalgar Square. I've had other reports of 25,000 people. So this
we'll go with the larger
doesn't
one.
Get mentioned at all by the newspaper. Yeah. We simply focus.
Look, up and down this country, every Saturday, which isn't, the football season's off right now, isn't it? Oh, what a coincidence. Oh, I wonder how they can get so many thousands of fucking football fans in the one place. Right? These are the organised, paramilitary related firms, fighting firms of football clubs. Right? The statement I made there, it's very hard to debate with this. I granted, I know you can have your own opinion and stuff, but this is the organised, criminal, paramilitary. They're linked to the state. What am I looking for? The intelligence services of the state, football firms who are mobilising their soldiers because they're organised. Right? They'll get buses, they'll get their regular buses, they'll get their regular bus drivers, they'll get their regular fucking songs they sing on their fucking buses on the way down to these places. Tommy, usually go around that fucking song. Bobby, Bobby Tomlinson.
On 9 people who were arrested after violence. And yes, of course, it's been reported to us that there were some, we'll call them wise boys there, who were clearly interested in the ruckus.
Wise boys? What the fuck mumble jumble grandad fucking ginger gibberish pish are you talking, Garish?
Rather than what the overall demonstration was about. And I don't think we should be surprised that the BBC has followed through with this theme. So,
shock horror. The BBC is reporting on the violence at the Tommy Robinson thing.
Here
Can't
we are,
believe
BBC
it.
News. Police officers hurt at Free Tommy Robinson protest. And again, there's absolutely no mention of the scale of the protests or of the fact that the violence.
Aye, that's your job, Garish. The BBC tell you how pish it is, and you tell us how good it was. That's because you are opposing sides of the front line of the info war. You ginger propagandist twat.
Was absolutely tiny.
I'd love to meet him in a field again. Bring Bilderberg back to the UK, man. I'll need the fucking SAS to protect me down in the Truther Industrial Complex pool pit nowadays. But I would brave it. Nah, probably not. It would cause a riot. I'd get fucking shit kicked out of me, man. To be honest.
In proportion to the number of people there.
Right. Tommy Robinson's good.
Correct here.
Yes, absolutely. But it's quite interesting to have a look at what.
And then you get another 28 days. And not only that, kids are attracted to canals. And also, back then, there was a programme called Rosie and Jim.
Just remind me when you're talking, what date?
Talking about,
Rosie and Jim, Rosie and Jim, tugging along on the old rag doll. Rosie and Jim. I don't watch Rosie and Jim, no fucking idea. I never watched Rosie and Jim. I don't watch children's shows. Rosie and Jim, tugging along on the old rag doll. Sounds like some sort of a sexual thing like that, tugging on the old rag doll. Anyway, there's a UK column. As we promised we would actually touch on the Tommy Robinson thing after apparently blanking it yesterday. And our touch on it is the Independent, while reporting on the violence, they were only there to report on the violence. They should have reported of all the good things. Gert Wilders, for example, talking. Oh my god. Unfucking believable. Anyway, that was a wee bit of an extended one. It was worthwhile to see the Bobby Robinson shit on. Now, tonight, not the InfoWars Nightly News, the original alternative look at the alternative media. Skeptical about the skeptics and watching the motherfucking Watchmen. So, a lot on tonight, and honestly, it's, I don't know. Sometimes when you get the examples of... I've been talking some time now about the Truther Industrial Complex showing montages of the mainstream media all saying the same shit, the same talking point, maybe or less verbatim the same words, but pretty much verbatim all across every single different network in America, in Australia and the UK. Right, and it's quite telling. It It tells a story. But the Truther Industrial Complex doesn't like you pointing out they do exactly the fucking same thing. Alex Jones farts a fucking false flag, and before you know it, all these fart sniffers have sniffed that shit in, and whew, are blowing that fart in your face. Slightly different words. And because they've got fucking boner broth fucking breath, the fart smells ever so slightly different. But it's the same fart, and it will tickle your fucking nose the same way. And no. Oh, it's blatantly obvious when you understand the Truther. When you see the Truther Industrial Complex for what it is, you'll see this undeniable pattern. So tonight, I've got. Let's see what I've got. I've got gay cakes. Notice every cunt's talking about gay cakes again. But the weird thing about talking about gay cakes is there's no continuity of moral compass of what's right or wrong here, regardless of the name of the football fucking teams taking part in the game. You either think rules are fair, unfair, or you have a rule that you think should exist in the game. Right? You can't just have fucking rules and then go, I'm going to apply this rule to only this game and not that game and this game. It's called being a hypocrite, double standards, and ultimately not even fucking having a moral compass. So we're talking about some gay cakes. Fucking, what's this? Gay guy, Miss America. Fucking Paul Joseph Watson, who I think he came out as gay, who knows? Looks gay to me. And gay cakes there, now all of a sudden cares about, and again, apply the rule that they want applied for the gay cakes. Apply the gay cake rule to Miss America. And you're like, well, hold on a second. You're getting your knickers in the twist when a gay cake guy can't make a decision about a gay cake, but then when the Miss America people make a decision independently because they're an independent organisation or a private group who should be able to privately make up their own rules and stuff, you get your little gay cake panties all in a twist. It doesn't make sense. So I like to point that out, so we're talking about that tonight. Got an agenda with Miss America. I mean, 3 of them. Lots of different actors from the independent media saying the same shit, talking the same way, injecting the same feeling into your head, and while all the time claiming to be independent of each other, while all they do is talk about the same shit, the same way that the mainstream media kid on to have 101 channels of news, when all they are is rhyming repeaters of the same shit. That's the Truther Industrial Complex. Sweden. Everybody talking about Sweden for ages now. It's just a coincidence that in 3 months' time, Sweden's having a general election. This isn't the Truther Industrial Complex trying to propagandise the world and thus steer the political discourse worldwide and nationally inside Sweden to allow the rise of the populists, the rise of the alt-right, the rise of the anti-immigration parties and entities that exist and are now popping up left, right and centre in Sweden. No. Pointing out that pattern and the coordinated propaganda campaign that's happening worldwide in umpteen different countries. The Truther Industrial Complex. And remember, Richie Allen, who's nothing to do with David Icke, associated with David Icke, he coined the Truther Industrial Complex. These people are fucking liars. Anyway, politics. Oh man, we've got a great fucking bit of politics tonight, man. Pretty Boner and fucking Lauren Sugar Tits. Mike Silvero. This guy's crazy, man. He's got Trump's cock in one ear hole, while at the same time spitting on Trump's cock, saying, I don't like Trump. Oh, Trump's so great. Oh, I can't make my mind up. South African agenda. These are all the coordinated talking points that the Truther Industrial Complex, through their independent reporting, you understand, are all talking about. Through their absolute obvious independentism, they're all talking about the same shit. Again and again and again. Ned Flanders, right, troops, is that a word? More chinky tits and Trump's politics. Bilderberger. We'll touch on that and see if there's any information or any analysis or what you can tell about the group that is the Bilderbergers. What you can tell from that group. And I think you can deduce something very worthwhile, but only if you understand that we're in an information war, not if you're there to try and tell people we're the Truther Industrial Complex and we only tell you the truth because we're independent. Battlefield London, another similar meme. Yeah, you had Tommy Robinson before his arrest talking about London has fallen, London has fallen. So the people with the agenda of blaming everything on immigrants and multiculturalism will now be pointing at every fucking crime that somebody who's black looking, brown looking, that does in London, and echo that all over the internets, so it'll get propagated left, right and centre. And everybody will go, fuck's sake, look at the violence that's happening in London. You're like, nah, they're just deciding to report on it all of a sudden because there's an agenda about it. Fuck's sake, people that watch this show will be aware of what happened in the shootings that's been up here in Glasgow. This shit's happening everywhere. Targeted attacks, gangsters doing gangster shit, and the media only shine the light on it when there's a larger agenda to go along with it. Otherwise, they'll keep it quiet or just not report on it. I mean, don't selectively choose what bits of violence to point at. Go and look at the national stats for violence that are out there publicly available, and then go, wow, well, that makes kind of sense when we come from a country with X amount of millions of people, Britain 65 odd. It makes it, well, it doesn't make sense, but you can understand the vast numbers of violence, and then go, hold on, there was like, what, fucking 20 odd murders, 10 murders, 5 murders today? The news only told me about 1? Why? Why is that? Ask yourself these questions, see what answers you come up with. And hashtag Tommy Bobinson. Self-explanatory. A few wee more topics that will pop up between now and then, and we organising the show for tonight. So thanks for joining, everybody. If you appreciated today's World InfoWar News at 1 Live, I'm going to open up a hangout right now. I'm doing it off quickly, so if you do want to join a hangout, do it sooner rather than later, because it won't be here for long. Need people to join, and then and I tried to join the hangout from my phone the other day as well, and I couldn't do it, so I don't know what they've done. I'm going to try and attempt to fix it though, because I know you can do get an old version of Skype on your phone. I've not done this yet. This is what I'm thinking. People that are struggling to get an old version of Skype on your phone, and when you click on the link, it should give you an option of what apps to open it in, and hopefully the Hangout app would be there as well. And as well, if sticking at your Google's old version of Hangouts. I mean, like, it is as simple as doing old version Skype and then sticking Android as well, and then old version Hangouts. You'll get them all available on the internets. Turn off automatic update on your phone and you will revert back to the way it used to work. It's my stab in the dark anyway. When I've got more time and whatnot, I'll fanny about waiting, maybe sort it out. But I've seen this to somebody the other day. I've got to the stage with technology now, man. If it doesn't work first time for me, I want to throw it away, man. I've turned in. I'm not a Luddite or scared of technology or anything, but my will to learn how to use new technology can't be fucked with it anymore. It really can't. You know, when you were young, you were enthusiastic about learning new skills and all that. Now I'm like, is there not an app for that? Anyway, thumbs it up, share it, friends, family, foes. If you do get any value, digital busking,
There's a Patreon and PayPal buttons down below. Spare change, not your life savings. Everything's available and accessible free of charge. If you get any value and like what I do, consider using the Patreon and PayPal buttons down below. And a mega thanks to everybody that does. In the afternoon, everybody, Mr. Brown in the town and with McVicker, how yous doing, gents? Charlotte and Roberto Carlos, Blazing, how yous doing, guys and girls? Nice to see yous in our chat. Maria, how you doing, Maria? Nice to see you in as well. Roberto Carlos, Blazing in the afternoon. One and all. McVicker, Roberto, Mascara and Snake was in there as well. How you doing, Mascara Snake? Arnold was in as well. How you doing, buddy? Colyman bounced in for a bit. Anybody else? Dino, how you doing, my man? Hope you and Jamesy boy had fun in the old Blackpool. I love Blackpool. But anyways, hopefully tune in. Hopefully catch yous all tonight for not the InfoWars Nightly News. Oh shit, I need to share the Hangout link, don't I? Woo, how easy these things are forgotten. I'll stick it in this. People have got my Skype details as well. If you want to hook up with me on Skype, use them. They are below, and I'll put the Hangout details on the Skypes as well. Alrighty, YouTubes. Hopefully catch yous all tonight. Catch yous. Work, goddamn you.
Clips. Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. People say it, so it's true. And if they diss me, I'll fucking sue. Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. People say it, so it's true. And if they diss me, I'll fucking sue. Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. Keeps clear.